Last time I told you that we are going to discuss now external sector. So today I'm going to discuss about the external sector. Okay, so this is de-dollarization and this is FTA and export corporate market we discussed I think. SEBI completed, IPF, ISF, social stock exchange. And today I'm going to start with external rate management in India. Exchange rate management in India in the external sector. In the external sector, my first topic is exchange rate management in India. So, Indian rupee valuation against currency of major trading partner. Near 2 year high on central bank intervention and elevated domestic inflation. So, our currency is basically dependent on the Indian rupees valuation. Everyone know this. So, process of determining the relative worth of value of one currency in term of another currency, that is known as the exchange rate management. I am valuing our currency in respect of other country's currency. So the value of the currency is known as exchange rate. What kind of exchange rate may be there? The most common method to value currency is through the exchange rate, and it influenced by the several factor. It can influence interest rate, it can influence inflation, it can influence the capital flow, money supply, and everything. So there is some method of the exchange rate. First method is fixed exchange rate. That is value of the currency pegged to value of the other currency. So value of the currency with the value of the other currency. Okay, and in the basket of currencies like gold may be there. So central bank actively intervene to maintain the fixed rate. Okay, so when we are maintaining the fixed rate, so central bank will intervene in that. Second is flexible or floating exchange rate. That is determined by the market. That is determined by the market. If there's a flexibility or the floating kind of the situation, that will determined by the market and supply currency by the international market. Okay, central bank does not intervene directly to the floating exchange rate. So in this floating, central bank is not directly intervening. Next is managed exchange rate. So managed exchange rate is determined by the market forces, but occasionally intervene by the central bank. So in the managed, occasionally, occasionally intervene by the central bank. So there are some two kinds of the statements are there. One is need, and second one is read. Okay, what is need? Need is the weighted over average of the bilateral nominal exchange rate of home currency in terms of foreign currency. If I am seeing my currency in terms of foreign currency, what is weighted average bilateral nominal exchange rate? That is need. Okay, and read is the weighted average of nominal exchange rate adjusted for relative price. It is adjusted for the relative price differential between the domestic and foreign currency. If I'm adjusting for the relative price, if that is adjusting for the relative price, so that is known as read. This is a differential between the domestic and foreign currency. I'm adjusting this because that is read. And need is just the nominal exchange rate of the home currency in terms of the foreign currency. What is the weighted average? Okay, and the read, we are adjusting the relative price. Okay, so these two kind of the terms I discussed. Now what is Gresham law? Gresham law say in the fixed exchange rate system, bad money drives out the good money. Okay, so sometimes what happened, bad money is coming in our market, and that is drive out to the good money. So that is known as the Gresham law. It causes undervalued currency to go out of the circulation. So it will undervalue our currency, and that will go out of the circulation. So overvalued currency remain in the circulation, but it does not find enough buyers. There's overvalue currency, but they also not going to find any enough buyers. But bad money derives the good money. That is the Gresham law. Okay. Now effect of the exchange rate. First is inflation. What is first is inflation? Overvalued currency can contribute the lower inflation, and undervalue can contribute the more inflation. Okay. Interest rate, like central bank may respond to the strengthening currency by the lowering interest rate. Now if there is a increasing interest rate, now what government will do, government will do lowering the interest rate. How central bank will respond for the strengthening the currency. If they want to strengthen their currency, they will lower the interest rate. Now in international market, our currency will be valued if lowering, we are lowering the interest rate. Economical growth will be good. If there is a managed exchange rate, that means we are declining, we are not declining our overall growth, we are just increasing our overall growth. Third is trade. We can boost our trade also with the competitive exchange rate. Okay, so that's why trade deficit as a export become less competitive. So like stronger currency जब भी होती है ना, उस समय क्या होता है कि export can become the less competitive and trade deficit may be there if there is a stronger currency. Means stronger currency are directly related to the export. Okay, so export will become the lower competitive if there is a stronger currency, and import become the more attractive. And stronger, if our currency are stronger, that means we are importing more, we are importing more. Okay, ऐसा ही जैसे if I have in 10 rupees in my pocket, that means I will purchase something because I am now rich, I have 10 rupees in my pocket. So that is similar conditions apply on the market. Like if there is a stronger currency, that means I'm importing more and my export will reduce. Okay, and capital flow, like if stronger currency is there, that means I'm attracting more capital, more FDI in my market. So that is four things are affecting with the exchange rate. First is inflation, second interest rate, third is the economical growth, trade, and the capital flow. Okay, now next one is foreign trade policy. So what is the foreign trade policy? See, Union Ministry of Commerce and the Industry is notified the foreign trade policy 2023. The notified by the central government and exercise the power conferred under the section 5 of Foreign Trade Act 1992. So there is a Foreign Trade Act, and that is 1992 Section 5. Okay, and this is notifying the central government based on the principles such as responsiveness to the requirement of trade and trust and partnership with the exporter. So foreign trade policy will improve our trust, it will improve our partnership with the exporter. Okay, so there is foreign trade regulations in 1992. We made these regulations, and presently foreign trade policy launched in 2023. So, what is the foreign trade policy criteria? Now, 2015 to 20, it was extended. There was due to COVID pandemic and the volatility in the geopolitical scenario. There was problems in the foreign trade, and India has reached record high export performance. And presently, India is very good in good performance in the export. There's four pillars of the foreign trade policy. First is tax remission, like we should matlab, tax should be remitted first. Second is the greater trade facilitation. We should provide technology, automation, continuous process, export promotion through the collaboration like exporter, state, and district. So collaboration, we need collaboration, we need trade facilitation and tax remission, as well as we need e-commerce and emerging area like SCOMET policy. You know what this SCOMET policy? What is SCOMET policy? So this is for the digitalization and the e-commerce. So I'm discussing here the India trade policy. First is India export. जो हमारे export है, what is we are exporting 760 billion US dollar. This is our export. And India का जो trade balance है. So you see, in 2016 we exported 435 billion dollar. In 2022, 676 billion dollar, and presently we are exporting 760 billion dollar. 760. Before that it was 676. Now presently it is 760, and we just improved from 55 to 74%. Okay. So India export target is $2 trillion for goods and services by 2030. So we are targeting $2 trillion, trillion dollars by 2030. That is our export target. This is our export target, $2 trillion. And इंडिया के जो टॉप एक्सपोर्ट कमोडिटीज हैं, फर्स्ट इज पेट्रोलियम, सेकंड इज इलेक्ट्रॉनिक गुड, थर्ड इज राइस, fourth is chemical, and fifth is drugs and pharmaceutical. So first one is petroleum, second one is electronic good, third one is rice, then we have chemicals, and then we have drugs. And India की जो trade balance है, okay, or trade balance. So first of all, merchandise trade deficit is also there. Service trade, in service we are in surplus, but in mercantile trade we are in deficit. Before that it was 266, now it is 191. And in service we are good, we are in surplus in service trade. Overall trade mein we are in deficit. Okay, we are in deficit in overall trade, that is 122 US billion. And in service we are 144 billion dollar, and that is we are in surplus in the service trade. But we are in deficit in the merchandise trade. In merchandise trade we are in the deficit. Okay, now next one is India's top import source. We are importing from the China first, then UAE second, then USA is the third importing partner, and Russia is our fourth partner. And in India, top exporter, we are exporting USA, this first, UAE, that is second one, Netherlands, that is third one, and the China, that is fourth one. So we are importing from China and UAE, we are exporting to USA and UAE. UAE is in the second position in both of the situations. First, we are importing from the China, then UAE, then USA, then Russia. We are exporting to the USA, UAE, Netherlands, and the China. And China is the best importing country. We are importing very much from the China, but we exporting fourth largest country of the China. Like China is the fourth largest country where we are exporting our goods and services. Okay. Now trade facilitation and the ease of doing business. What is a trade facilitation? So National Committee of the Trade Facilitation. It facilitate, coordinate, implement with the WTO. So WTO is the main body which is providing trade facilitation agreement, and WTO is the 2017 trade facilitation agreement was came into force in 2017 to address the issues of the red tapeism across the borders. Okay, so initiative is taken by the Director General of the Foreign Trade and facilitate the export and import. It also consult the various export promotion councils and trade industry bodies. So one is the Niryat Bandhu application. Niryat Bandhu. What is Niryat Bandhu? This Niryat Bandhu is being implementing the mentoring new potential exporter. Okay, and electronic importer exporter code is also there. This code is 10 character code, and this code is for mandatory for undertaking any export and import activity. So there's a electronic importer exporter code. Second thing. Third is e-certificate. So e-certificate is an online facility, and this is a unique documentation identification number, and you can validate with the QR code also. Now next is the town export excellence. So town of the export excellence, there is 750 crore. 750 crore, or the producing goods of 750 crore in the town export excellence. Okay. So it is included handicraft, handlooms, agriculture, fishery, all this. And that is about 150 crore rupees. And rationalization of the criteria of the status of the holder certification. Status holder certifications are also providing with the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And we have automatic status holder certificates under the foreign trade policy. Okay, so it will increase the credibility of the India in the international market, and it will prioritize the custom clearances, and the certain exemptions will be provided. So trade facilitation agreement is with the WTO, and this is there is some kind of important thing. First is Niryat Bandhu application, second is electronic importer exporter code, third is e-certificate of the origin, fourth is town of export excellence, and the fifth one is rationalization of the criteria of the status holder certification. Okay, now next one is the export promotion initiative. So district as export hub, any district, this is a export hub, this is a export hub. Okay, so state export promotion committee and the district export promotion committee is to strategize the export at the state and district level. It will strategize the export at the district level and the state level. District export action plans are also there, and this along with their online monitoring is also there. Okay, export promotion program, in this branding, packaging, designing, marketing, all is included. Convergence of the ongoing schemes are also there. Export promotion capital goods scheme is also there. So this is the capital good. This scheme is for the capital goods, and export promotion of the capital good. Export promotion of the capital goods. So objective is to facilitate the import of the capital goods and quality goods and services, enhance the India's manufacturing competitiveness. Import of the capital goods at the zero custom duty. So zero custom duty should be there. And capital goods are man-made durable items that the business use product, consumer goods and services. So this is the man-made and the durable items of the businesses that is known as a capital good, like tools, machinery, building, vehicle, computers, construction equipments. These all are capital goods, and they are the durable as well as man-made, and is used to produce the consumer goods and services. And these products are using for the consumer goods and service production. So these capital goods are now promoting with the export promotion of capital goods scheme. And eligibility, it cover manufacturer exporter, merchant exporter and service provider. Okay, so and common service providers also. So manufacturer exporters are like export goods manufacturing by him, and merchant exporters are trading activities, and the exporter export the goods. This is included a trading activity in the merchant exporter. And export obligations are also there, like average export obligations subject to the average of export obligation under the import under the EPCG. So some sector have been exempted from the uh, obligations. Okay, so now next one is export promotion unit. What is export promotion unit? To promote the export, enhance the foreign exchange earning, attract the investment, and export production and employment generation. This is the export promotion unit. So export their entire production of the goods and services, set up under the export oriented unit. Electronic hardware technological park is also there. Software technology parks are also there, and biotechnology parks are also there. These all parks are included in the export promotion unit. Okay, so trading units are not covered under the these scheme. Trading units are covered under the merchandise export. Okay. Now there is a deemed export. What is deemed export? So deemed export refer to those transactions in which goods supplied do not leave the country. If they do not leave the country, do not leave the country, that means they are the deemed export. And payment for such supplies received either in the Indian rupees or the free foreign exchange. So payment in the Indian rupees or in the foreign rupees. Okay, so this is the deemed export, which is supplies received under either in the Indian rupees or the foreign rupees. It not leave the country. So goods supplied do not leave the country. Its simpler term, under deemed export, the goods can be sold within India to anybody who hold a license for the import of this very good. Okay, so this is sold in the India, and who any person who has the license for that particular goods, only he will liable for the deemed export. The seller selling the said goods against an import license is a deemed exporter, and the buyer is deemed importer. To provide a level playing field to domestic manufacturer and to promote the make in India, it will promote the make in India, and it will promote the domestic manufacturer also. Other key initiative like cross border trade in the digital economy. So how we are promoting the cross border trade with the digital economy? First is the e-commerce. So e-commerce to establish the designated, which is the center for favorable business infra and facilities. Second one is set up through the private initiative like PPP. So second thing is PPP. Okay. So second thing is PPP. First thing was the e-commerce